Hey everyone, try this again. I did this morning and my microphone was not plugged in. And so I literally sat here for about 40 minutes talking to you guys and nothing, nothing was, there's no sound. So here's hoping for take two will come out fine. All of a sudden, I have a chill. Like, it was a little chilly in our living room, but anyway, so I'm home. It is actually Wednesday today, the 27th. And I love going to see my family. I hate Indiana, by the way. Every time I go to Indiana, I should tell you guys, when I lived in Indiana, I had an allergy test done because I was getting a sinus infection like every single month. I ended up having sinus surgery where they like went in and like sucked out all your sinus cavities because mine were so full and blocked. And then they put in a stent. It's obviously, I don't know exactly where, but in my nose somewhere. They put in a stent to kind of keep that open. But every time I go to Indiana, I come home sick. What was I saying? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I had an allergy test done when I lived in Indiana. And the I don't know, the allergist, whatever their title is, looked at me and said, you're allergic to the state of Indiana. You would benefit by moving. It would have been nice if she would have told me where I would benefit moving to, probably like Arizona or something where it's very different dander. In fact, Crystal and I went to Arizona years ago, 2011 I think it was when we went, and I have never ever breathed so well in my entire life that I can remember. Well, that's not true. When we lived in Texas, we lived in the desert, so I lived in El Paso. Well, we lived in El Paso. I'm all over the place. I'm an army brat, so we lived in a bunch of places. And I was born in El Paso, and then when we came home from Germany, we lived in El Paso before moving to Georgia. I think I'm just allergic to the East Coast, to be honest with you, because I have a lot of trouble down here in Florida too. So I need to have an allergy test done here. I know I'm allergic to the sun. Don't ask. It's like the worst thing in the world to be allergic to. I really just need to find some place where the sun is minimal and there's like no trees, no grass, nothing. You know, I'm allergic to my dog and my cat. I refuse to not have animals. I used to get allergy shots every single week. It was great. I was living life, okay? We moved to Florida, and, well, I was going to ask to see an allergist, but now with the way our insurance has been acting up, I think I'm just going to have to wait another year before I do that. It is what it is. Anyway, let's get back to the update, because this is why updates are an hour long. We came home Sunday. Should we rewind? Let's rewind. We left on Saturday the 16th. We had an early morning flight, and the airport was not very busy. I wanted to get there super early. I'm a stressful traveler. Like, I'm stressed until I'm on the plane. And then if there's a layover, I'm stressed until I'm on my final plane. So just, I'm a stressed traveler. I travel and I'm stressed most of the travel time. It doesn't matter if we're flying or driving. I'm stressed either way. So we got there 2 hours early because, for one, the website said recommended it because it's spring break. It's kind of a good thing. I mean, we weren't late for our flight by any means at all. We were still like an hour and a half early. But for some reason, Southwest had changed the information in the system for my husband and gave him my birthday and said that he was a female. And so when we got to TSA, we had to go, he had to go back to the ticketing counter. I just kind of walked halfway back because I was not going all the way back. So I walked halfway back till I found a seat and I waited for him. And so they had to fix that, and then we got through TSA real quick. Like, the Sarasota airport, I love the Sarasota airport. It's the quickest airport I've ever went through security wise, and the security people are always so nice there. Now it is a little bit different than like your bigger airports, because at bigger airports I've noticed you don't have to take anything out of your bags anymore. They have the upgraded machinery and stuff like that to where it just kind of scans everything. Where at Sarasota you still have to take out your laptop and electronics and stuff like that, and put them in a separate bin. It's whatever. But anyway, we got through security. We sat there and waited for our flight. The only thing I hate about morning flights, I prefer morning flights because you get to your destination and then you have like a whole extra day almost on your trip. And so I do like that aspect of it, but the bad part is there was nothing open. So it's a good thing I drank a Monster on my way to the airport, because there was no Starbucks, no coffee shops, nothing open. Nothing was open when we got there. In fact, nothing really opened until like 30 minutes before our flight. And I went to the restroom 30 minutes before our flight. I always use the bathroom 30 minutes before we board, not before the flight. Because one of my biggest things, because I already am uncomfortable about flying to begin with by myself for sure, especially if it's a full plane, because then I have to have a stranger sit next to me, and I'm plus size, and I'm always, one of my biggest fears, and I know this is going to sound silly to you guys, but it's like this fear, ever since that one girl was told she had to book a different flight or and purchase a separate seat or something. I forget the whole story, but she was a plus size girl, and she, she barely took up a little bit of the extra seat because she had a little flow over, and the seats themselves are really narrow and small, and I get it. They're trying to cram as many people onto one plane as possible. So ever since then, I have been stressed to fly, stressed to do anything of that sort. The older planes, we fly Southwest, by the way. The older planes, I always have to get an extender belt for. The newer planes, I don't have to get an extender belt for. And the tray tops actually come down, whereas on the older planes, they don't come down. But anyway, back to my story. So I'm always terrified when I fly by myself that the person next to me is going to complain and they're going to have me leave the plane because I'm fat. And so that's always my biggest worry of everything. So I always scrunch, and I tense myself up the whole entire flight to where I'm so sore by the time I get to my destination. Anyway, my husband flew with me this time. obviously we flew up to Indiana together, and he sat in the middle, so I wasn't very scrunched, but he was. And my husband, he's not, well, he says he's fat. My husband's very tall. I mean, he is a little chunky, but he's always been tall and like built, I guess would be the correct way to say it. He has put on a little weight, but by no means would I call him fat. But that's just me. I don't think he's fat. Anyway. But, he was sitting there like this the whole time. I looked over at him. I said, you can just put your arm around me and I'll be a little uncomfortable. Because, you know, it makes me have to lean forward then. And he did that for a while, but I think he realized I was uncomfortable because he moved back to his little scrunched position. So yeah, anyway, that being said, we got to Indiana. Now that I talked about my fears and stuff for 11 minutes, we got to Indiana and we went and picked up my grandma's truck. Well, it was my grandpa's truck, but my grandpa passed away back in 2000 and, oh my god, 2018. So, was it 2018? I'm pretty sure it was it was 2018, 2019. I'm pretty sure it was 2018. But anyway, so we went and picked that up, asked my grandma if she's eaten. Of course, she had already eaten breakfast. And so then we went up to the town my older brother lives in. We went to Perkins, we had breakfast, and then we went back to his house. Then we went to his house for a little while, and then we all went to the grocery store. Then we came home. My sister-in-law made pork chops. And what else do we have? Pork chops, corn, mashed potatoes. I think that's it. Anyway, and then the next day we stayed at my older brother's house, right? I'm trying to remember. I don't know if you guys go on trips and it like gets conjumbled with you guys. So, Sunday, I stayed at my older brother's house. Justin went to my younger brother's house to help him build his gaming room up. They put in shelves and built a new gaming table and stuff like that. So he went down there to do that with my younger brother and one of my younger brother's friends. And then we just played board games all day. We invited my younger brother to come over that night, and he did. And then he came over Monday as well. And he came over all day Monday. And then Tuesday was when we went to Melting Pot. So we went to Melting Pot. Oh, I missed this thing. So Monday it started snowing, and I'll put the clips in here.
It's
and
snowing.
So it literally just snowed. It didn't stick, but we thought it was going to because it was really big flakes, but it didn't stick. Anyway, then Tuesday we went to the Melting Pot. We go to the Melting Pot every single year. This year we I lost my train of thought. Oh, this year, our waitress that we had came up and said that she put in my account that next time we come to put us at a different section because it would be bigger and it would give us more burners. Because we are a group of 8 usually, and when you have that many people, you are allowed to have up to 4 burners, but they always set us at a table with 3 burners, and they don't have like portable burners. They try to last year they tried to sit us at a table with 2, and we're like, nah, we need more than that. So So next year we're going to do that. She already put in for our reservation as well because I said, is there any way we can go ahead and reserve, because we come on the same day every year. We've been doing it since 2022, which we go on my mom's Remembrance Day because melting pot was something my mom really enjoyed doing with her friends. And they usually went on Valentine's Day, my dad, and their group of friends. And that was something they loved to do. And my dad started this tradition, by the way. I think I mentioned it in another one that he asked us why we were celebrating. And we're not celebrating, we're remembering my mom. And he started it, and that's what my older brother told him. You started this tradition. It's not our fault that you're choosing to no longer participate. And we are pretty sure he doesn't want to participate because if he was to take my mother-in-law, she wouldn't eat. She wouldn't eat anything, and it'd be just a huge waste of money for him. And so I think that's why he honestly doesn't want to go anymore, because he doesn't want to exclude her either. And also, wouldn't it be kind of weird to take your new girlfriend to your wife's Remembrance Day? I don't know. But anyway, that's what I think. That's what the rest of us think too, because he went last year. And he didn't say nothing about us celebrating until this year. So I don't know. It's something we as a sibling group have decided we will continue to do, probably for the rest of our lives. So anyway, what else was I saying? So that's Tuesday. I'll insert, you will have already seen pictures. I didn't get much. I think I only got clips of our dessert. Go figure. But they also sell these Squishmallows, and my niece bought her own. I told her I would have bought it, but she said she can buy her own, and then my nephew wanted one, so I did buy his for him, and they're really not that bad. I think it was only like $15, which wasn't that bad in my opinion for a Squishmallow. It does say melting pot on it, but it's a little fondue. Well, he got the chocolate covered strawberry, but they had the chocolate covered strawberry, and they also had like a little fondue pot. And they were so cute. I almost got one for myself, but I really don't collect squishies. So I have a few that have been gifted to me. And then I also have my mom's bears that we had bought for her. And I think there's a Boyd's bear that my grandparents bought for her. But I can't remember. Anyway. I saw my grandpa's bear as well, and we have Justin's grandpa's bear. So anyway, that was Tuesday. So the way it worked, I stayed with my older brother Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we took my grandma to lunch, and then we visited for a little while, and then we went to my younger brother's house where we stayed for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday he took us to the airport. So Wednesday, like I said, we took my grandma to lunch, and then we went to my brother's house. That evening we went to Yummy Bowl. I love Yummy Bowl. I wish that they had a Yummy Bowl down here. There might be something similar to Yummy Bowl down here. But if you've never been to Yummy Bowl, it's like, if you've ever been to BD's Mongolian barbecue, and I know maybe it's not saying anything, but it's like a BD's Mongolian barbecue. Basically, what you do is you go in, they give you a bowl, you fill up your bowl with like your vegetables, your meats, your seasonings, your sauces, and then you set it to the side and they cook it for you. And the only thing I wish is, because like I need to ask them next time I go if I can get a second bowl, because I would rather sometimes just have noodles than rice. and just ask them if there's a way I can get a second bowl because I don't want rice or something like that, because it automatically comes with rice. They like put the rice in the bottom of the bowl. And so I think next time I'm going to ask them that. I might have to pay, because usually if you get a second bowl, they charge you a bowl because they charge you by the bowl. It's not all you can eat or anything like that. Like BD's is all you can eat. Usually, well, they have options. You can either do a one bowl or I think they do have an all you can eat option though. I'll have to ask my brother. I mean, I could never do more than one bowl there. They give you a lot. I don't know who would be able to go back up for a second bowl. That would be crazy. So anyway, so that was Wednesday. Thursday, Justin and I went to Circle Center Mall, which by the way is dead. Like there's nothing left hardly in that mall at all. I mean, I know malls are dying, but Circle Center used to be like a happening place. Like the last time I went there, my nephew was 6 months old and he's gonna be 16 this year. So that tells you like, so we walked around, realized there was nothing there. Then we went to P.F. Chang's for lunch. It was really good. I like P.F. Chang's. And then we went back to my brother's house and we sat around watching TV until dinner time. Then we went to Moe's. After Moe's, after a Yummy Bowl, we went to Myers, by the way. No, we went to Kroger. After Moe's, when did we go to Myers? No, after Yummy Bowl. Yeah, we went to Myers. I don't know. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm all over the place. So, we went to Myers after Yummy Bowl. And, so where am I at? We already did Thursday. We went to the mall. We went to Moe's. Friday, we didn't do much of anything until my brother Justin and I went somewhere, I think. No. Didn't we? I feel like we went somewhere for lunch. Maybe we ordered lunch. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, no, we ate leftover Yummy Bowl that day. But for dinner, we went to City Barbecue. And then we came home and played cards with my brother. And then Saturday, we went and had lunch with my grandma again, returned to the truck. And then everyone came back to my younger brother's house. I forgot to add that we went bowling before we went back to my little brother's house, and I will add those clips here. And we played games. You give me a drink.
Can you record again? 110. It's the guy. It's the guy. Is he doing the stickers on his own?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of
Can he pick it up? Nope, gutter ball. Pick it up.
I haven't knocked down all 10 pins since the summer.
I think the holes on that one are too loose.
Well, I am. I'm good.
It wasn't recording.
She stopped it on her way up. She's like,
Now it is,
it
yeah.
was.
I gotta hit a button and it stops. I don't know.
We got one.
Oh!
Hey, Brandon, I'm using your quill.
And we played games all night. I did order pizza from this place called Futuro that we never got, and I was so mad. I actually need to see if they refunded our money yet, because we need to dispute the charge if they don't refund us our money, because it was $116. That's with the tip, and apparently the delivery service they use is DoorDash. And we never got our food. So I was a little irritated by that. Like, we waited for 2 hours for our food. They refunded us. So good. Okay. We waited for 2 hours for our food, never got it. And it was a whole bunch of back and forth with my husband and the manager of Futuro. And I'm not faulting them. They said that the food left their facility. So it's on DoorDash at that point, which I honestly think the driver saw that it was a secure condo and knew that it was one that they usually had to be met at the door for, or something like that. And I am almost betting that they just kept the food. As someone who used to drive for DoorDash, I never purposefully kept food. There were times I would go to people's houses and they would not answer the door, and you have to call them a certain amount of times, and you have to, knock on the door a certain amount of times, unless there was a note that said leave the food at the door. And if they don't respond, you call DoorDash. DoorDash will tell you to just dispose of the food. And what they mean is just keep it or throw it away. So, and I think they knew. So that's just my guess, is that they're like, probably it was their last run of the day and they have family at home that they had to get dinner for or something. And they're like, this person doesn't need their food. Anyway, leave me alone. So we ended up ordering from Goodfellas, and my older brother and Justin just walked to get that, because it was only like a block away off of a different, my younger brother lives downtown Indianapolis, so there's a lot of things walkable. It was cold, And so we were trying to get it delivered so it would still be hot when we got it. And the pizza was hot when they got home, surprisingly, because it was like in the 30s when they walked over to get it. So anyway, the clips of the pictures I'm going to put in, the pizza's like bigger than my hand, which I know you guys don't know how big my hand is. I wish there was a way to like describe how small my hand is. But anyway, I try to show you my hand next to the pizza. These slices were huge. I have to be honest with you, I was in tears because when I did the future order, I had ordered 3 pizzas and 2 orders of breadsticks. There were 7 of us, and I was starving. Everyone was starving, and I wanted to make sure that everyone had enough food. And so when they were ordering, the Goodfellas, they were only ordering 2 pizzas, and I just broke down in tears because I was like, that's not going to be enough food. That's not going to be enough food. And it was enough food. They ordered, to me, okay, my brain, my hangry little upset brain did not compute 22 inches is massive. And we ordered 2 22-inch pizzas, both of them half and half. And they were massive. Goodfellas is decent pizza. It's good, but it's not the best. That's all I'm going to say. It's good, but it's not the best. Their breadsticks, spot on. We ordered 2 breadsticks. The breadsticks are big. Like, it's just one singular breadstick, but they're big. They're like as long as your arm. That's their whole saying. A breadstick as long as your arm. So they're long, and they were so good. We ordered a bunch of cheese cups and marinara sauce, and yeah, it was good food and good fun. They were there until probably like 1:30 in the morning. And then Sunday, we went to brunch at this place called, I think it was called Love Handles or something like that. And it was okay. Like, it was weird. I ordered biscuits and gravy with sausage, and the gravy was very cheesy, like a very cheesy gravy. It almost tasted like a broccoli and cheese soup without the broccoli cheesy, if that makes any sense at all. Like, it was really weird, very weird. It wasn't like nasty or anything. It's just not what I was expecting for food. Anyway, and then after that we were walking home, and I was craving hot chocolate like this whole entire trip. And so I was like, I would like hot chocolate. Can we, walk back the longer way and stop by Starbucks? Well, we ended up passing this coffee shop called Please and Thank You. And oh my God, I'm so glad we stopped. This place, the people were so nice. The food, we got cookies. The hot chocolate though, oh my God, was the best hot chocolate. They call it a Mexi hot chocolate. I guess it's got like cinnamon and other little spices. It's not spicy hot, like not hot spicy, if that makes any sense. But it was so good. It tasted like something from my childhood. And I had my younger brother try it as well, and he said, yeah, it tastes like something Mom used to buy us. And we couldn't figure it out for the life of us what it was. And I still to this day have no clue what it could be. He said maybe it's the advent calendars that she used to buy us. My mom never bought us like the plastic crap. Like it's still, usually it was like German chocolate is what we ended up getting, because we but we lived in Germany for the longest time. And she always got us advent calendars from the German store. So when we moved to America, she somehow found chocolate very similar to what we used to get in Germany. And we're almost thinking that's what it was that we're remembering, but I don't know. This was so good. It was like the hug that I needed the whole week, and I got it on the last day. And the cookies, we got chocolate chip cookies. We got a 6-pack. because it was cheaper that way. And they were so good. If you guys don't know, I love chocolate chip cookies. There's not very many cookies that I like in my life, but I love chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies are one of my favorites. Those and white macadamia nut are my favorite cookies ever. But oh my god, their cookies were so delicious. And then we came back to my brother's house, played games for a little bit, and then we got to go to the airport. And the airport was super busy. I'm so glad we got there 2 hours early. I'm very glad, because we literally got, well, we had maybe like an hour before our flight by the time we got through baggage check. But once we got up, we were at the front of the line, and I looked at my husband because there was this one attendant. I'm like, I hope we don't get her, because she was going back and forth between 2 kiosks, and she was like very loud, and she, like, just her demeanor was stressing me out, and we hadn't even gotten up to the counter yet. And my husband told me to calm down, it would be fine. And of course we got her, and she took his ID, but like before she even scanned our ID in, because if you don't know, they scan your ID and all your ticket information comes up. Before she even scanned his ID in, she had already chucked one of our bags onto the belt. And I looked at my husband and I said, that's going to get lost. And he said, what? And I said, it's going to get lost. You watch. And she continued to put transfer tags on the rest of our bags and put them over there. One of the bags, you will see one of my grocery hauls coming up, but I show you some of the stuff I got from Indiana. But one of the bags had something breakable in it, and she just like chucked it like right in front of us. No care in the world, just chucked it. I mean, I know they're rough with your luggage and crap, but why can't you just softly? I mean, no, she basically slammed it down. Anyway, then he was like, how do you know that's going to get lost? She didn't put a transfer tag on it. She didn't put a transfer tag on the one bag. And it got lost. It got lost. I have it now. I went and picked it up yesterday from the airport. But I knew it was going to get lost. I knew it was going to get lost. And that's the bad part. But I thought it was in Baltimore, but apparently it never even got on the plane to even go anywhere. It stayed in Indiana for some reason. So that was stressful. And so when we got home, it took a little longer because we had to go to baggage claim and report our lost luggage. And we got home shortly before 1 in the morning. And this is why I prefer morning flights, because when you get home, you're exhausted, and I wanted to stay up and spend some time with Stitch, but I was so tired that I went to bed. Like, I felt bad because he hadn't seen us in a week, and he had just been home for hours by himself because my mother-in-law and dad left 2 hours before they told us they were going to leave, which really frustrated me and kind of pissed me off a little, if you want me to be frank and honest, because they told me they were going to stay till 5, and we got a message from them shortly after 3 that they dropped our car off, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, what happened to leaving at 5? So I was very frustrated with that, because, I mean, Stitch just stayed home. Like, if I go out of town and it's just Justin here, Justin leaves for work at 6 in the morning, and he's gone until almost 6 at night. So Stitch can hold his bladder just fine, but the point was that they told me they weren't leaving until 5, and then they left way earlier in the day, and that just frustrated me. Because if you don't know Stitch, he's a very anxious dog. He doesn't destroy things by any means, but he does not like to be by himself. And so when someone gets home, he's extremely clingy. and frustrating to be around. Like, I will go to the grocery store and I come home and he acts like I've been gone for years. I kid you not. He is so clingy to me. It's, anyway, so, yeah, that was my trip. And, oh, I'll insert some pictures of the flight. You will have already seen that because I'll just overlay it before you even hear this part. But yeah, that was my trip. It was fun. I always enjoy going up and seeing my family. But back to what I was saying, I always come homesick because I'm allergic to Indiana. I was pretty like on top of it this time because when we went to Myers on Wednesday, I was already feeling my throat getting sore. So we got some Zicam. I got the nose swabs, the ones that shorten colds, and I also got some Zicam actual medicine, and I took that for a few days. So it wasn't so bad when I got home. I was just more worn out, exhausted, and sore. I have to tell you, we're going to go back to the airport a little bit. We had a layover in Baltimore. So we went from Indianapolis to Baltimore. So the pictures you've seen with the daylight, like when it was still kind of daylight outside, is the flight from Indianapolis to Baltimore. And then we flew from Baltimore to Sarasota. So that's the nighttime pictures. But we had a layover, and our flight from Indianapolis got delayed a little. Like, it didn't board on time and didn't take off on time. And so I was stressed out this whole time. When we got off the plane, my husband and I made a plan. He would go on ahead of me to make sure we get our seats because I have to sit, and you guys are going to think I'm dramatic, but I need to sit on the left side of the plane by the window. I have to. Like, if I have to sit on the right side of the plane, I'm in so much pain because my ears, the pressure in my ears is so much that I'm in tears by the time we land. Like, I'm in tears. It hurts so bad. But on the left side of the plane, the pressure is not that bad. It's actually bearable. Like, there is still pressure, and every now and then I'll have to do this when we're landing to and just like constantly put lots of pressure on my ears and rub. That doesn't work on the right side, by the way. I've tried it. It doesn't work on the right side. But I sit on the left side of the plane, and I don't know why. Anyway, I don't know the science behind it, but anyway. So my husband went on ahead. My husband walks fast anyway, and so, but I'm sitting there like trying to get to our gate on time. And I'm like constantly checking my watch, trying to hurry. I'm walking as fast as I can without running because I couldn't breathe just walking fast as it is. And I told my husband by the time I got there, I didn't take my phone out of airplane mode. And he texted me, "They're delayed, take your time." I didn't get that because my phone was still in airplane mode. So anyway, if it wasn't for like the moving walkways they had, I wouldn't have made it, to be honest with you, because the moving walkways, I still walked on them, but for some reason, what is the science behind this too? Because they don't move that fast, but when you're walking on them, you're walking faster. Anyway, if it wasn't for that, I don't feel like I would have made him. Anyway, so I get there, and he's like, "You should have checked your phone. You didn't have to rush." I couldn't breathe. I was in so much pain. And then they told us there was going to be a longer delay because our flight attendants weren't there. And so I had Justin go get me a drink and some Starbursts because I really needed something for when we were landing, because yes, gum, but I don't really like chewing gum that often. And so Starbursts are chewy enough that if I chew them while we're landing, it helps. the pressure. I can do it without chewing something as well, but it's better if I have something to help my jaw. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but yeah. I really don't know. Okay, I'm pretty sure you are a scam artist, and I'm going to block you, actually. I had a random person text me, and it's really weird. I'll read you the message, and they messaged, and they're like, "Hey, are you still busy?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I think you have the wrong number." And they said, "Excuse me, are you the yoga teacher Melissa? I'm Bella." And I said, well, my name is Melissa, but I'm not a yoga teacher. Sorry, you have the wrong number. Sorry, my assistant saved the wrong number. I hope I didn't disturb your beautiful day. And I'm like, "You're good." And then they responded, "You are very friendly and kind friend. Nice to meet you. My name is Bella. What's your name?" Well, I done told you my freaking name, asshole. So I just blocked him. I don't know who it is. So anyway, they probably have all my bank information by now because I responded to them to begin with. Oh God, what was I saying? I don't know. That's it for this vlog, guys. We've already made it too long. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.